Good evening, guys. It's the evening of the ITM 400 in Hamilton, New Zealand. Um, the Saturday race, spectacular. I felt that was one of the best races for a while. Um, Probably since the Sydney Telstra 500 last year, even though James Courtney was crowned champion. We won't take that one away from him, though. He's the champion. Saturday qualifying. Qualifying was great for the Team Vodafone driver of Jamie Whincup. Qualified pole. And the Kelly gang were basically line astern with him. The race was great. Unfortunately for Whincup, he got shuffled back to 5th by the first corner. And going up into the second corner. That was because he got pushed wide because of one Rick Kelly and Stephen Johnson. But, we don't want to have a go at them for that. That's racing's racing. Lowndes fell back a bit, and he got into the silly pack. He did make a good. He did get a good result. I felt on the at the end of the race. Great racing. I felt after Jamie hitting the wall in pit lane and saying that it was a rookie's mistake, which is very hard on himself for, but that's him. There was the lone Team Vodafone driver out there. He came third. Now, a lot of people were saying that he could have, in fact, jumped into second. But you don't want to put it in the wall in those wet stages. We saw one great spin from, I think it was Dean Fiore. He spun where Jamie in 2008 hit the wall because of one of the Kelly boys. He had it spin and he missed everything and he was that close to the wall. I thought that was great car control for him to spin it and be able to virtually keep the car undamaged. Controversially, Mark Winterbottom got turned around. It's pretty good for Jamie, but Jamie didn't finish in points as far as I'm aware. So, Mark Winterbottom got away with that one. Jamie was still leading the championship at the end of that race. Sunday's race, both the Vodafone drivers qualified in 8th and 9th, not good enough. I felt, especially for Jamie, he probably knocked around the wet tyres, and the commentators on Channel 7 were saying that they were actually had the benefit of being at pole from where they were. Someone like the Kelly boys, it would have been very hard for them to get there from where they were. They would have had to do it in 2 laps. The Whincup and Lowndes should have done it in at least 1 lap. And done it officially as a shootout. It's a bit while they were on slick tyres. They should have changed their car for possibly for a shootout setup. And they should have been on pole and second. But the race has been run. You can't change anything now. Whincup, well, what can you say? They had a great battle, both the Vodafone drivers together, without contact being made, which I felt was probably some of the cleanest racing this year. Same with Whincup and Tander in Clipsal. I think it was the second race of the Clipsal 500. It was great. Unfortunately, problems came down in the Team Vodafone car and he fell backwards and he got caught up with a GRM car. Great. We all needed that. When we all thought that he could get onto podium finish, which he could have. His car speed on Sunday wasn't the best, but no one else's was, so he could have actually climbed the field. He was involved in a crash with one of the GRM guys, and, believe it or not, Mark Winterbottom. Mark Winterbottom was unable to drive his car away, which basically made him a retirement for the race. But Jamie was able to keep going and went into pit lane. Mechanically, the car was great. There was no problems mechanically, but physically there was. So they had to fix that up. They put fuel in it, and then they chucked 4 new tyres on there, so to speak. And away he went. I think he got up to about 20th by the end of the race. Craig Lowndes got a drive through for crossing the blend line, leaving pit lane after almost hitting the pit wall like Jamie Whincup. A lot of people said he did because his front splitter was a little bit skewy. But he could have hit, tyre bundle, could have just bumped them a little bit. All rubbing cars. But on a wet track, he went right back to the end of the field, but on a dry track, when he's drive through, he should have, lost about 2 or 3 positions, hearsay. Other than that, he drove beautifully through the field and finished 10th, which I thought was a remarkable drive by one Craig Lowndes, which moved him 3rd into the championship. If he did not move up, it would have been in the championship standings. It would have been Whincup, Rick Kelly, and Mark Winterbottom. But he's moved up and he's pushed Mark Winterbottom down to 4th, which means that both the Vodafone boys, the duo, are basically now 1 and 3 in the championship, which will make a thrilling championship season between the 2 Vodafone boys. Off Vodafone news, Carl Reindler and James Moffat had a little bit of a get-together at the end of race 2, where James Moffat was pushed into the wall by Carl Reindler. Now, Carl, the red mist got down. They were a little bit unhappy about that. James, at the end of the race, went over and grabbed Dean Fiore and pushed him, pushed on his helmet, and probably gave him just a little bit of a headache, and that would be it. But that's that. And Vodafone news, that's about all that was given. Dean Fiore lost 25 points because of that altercation there. I must admit, I'm a little bit unhappy that nothing was done about Mark Frosty Winterbottom turning Stephen Johnson around. I felt that was probably unfair, but the guys in race control know what they're doing. Anyway, that's for Vodafone news. Have a great Easter, everyone. Drive safely. Don't drink and drive. Don't talk on your mobile, and don't tweet and drive, please. We would like to see basically a car crash free holiday, and hopefully I'll join you soon in Perth, where we'll get the latest information, and I'll give you some more Vodafone news. Alright, have a great night.